From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger here for Weather NorCal. Here's a look at our weather headlines. We do expect dry and mild conditions here for the rest of the week, but that's not going to last forever because we've got a wet weather pattern returning this weekend. And speaking of this weekend, on Saturday, it's the first day of winter, the winter solstice, the day where we see the shortest amount of daylight, but it gets longer. The daylight hours get longer after that. Now, snow levels initially are going to start off fairly high over the weekend, but we could see them drop a little bit here by around Tuesday of next week. More on that a little bit later in your deeper dive. But before we get to the deeper dive, let's get you through Krueger's QuickCast here for your Wednesday, December 18th. What I'm expecting here for tonight, we're going to be looking at more fog developing again tonight and into tomorrow. And some of that could even be making its way as far north as, say, the Redding area as well. So just be on the lookout for that. We'll be looking at for some patchy, even some patchy dense fog for parts of the valley. Otherwise, cold in the mountains. And yeah, many of the mountain valleys, inland valleys, we're still looking at some potential for some fog there as well. But I mean, we're dropping down to the 20s for many of us in the higher elevations and off along the coast here. Temperatures somewhere in the mid 40s overnight tonight. Let's go and take a look at you, get you out the door for tomorrow morning for the 19th. And you were talking about, of course, mostly cloudy skies to start off the day. Again, looking at some of that patchy fog even for the Sacramento Valley. Mountain and inland valleys can see some of that fog, and of course it looks like we'll clear out here for the afternoon for especially many of the higher elevations here. All right, let's take a look at the big picture here, and this is the system that moved through this morning, giving showers for parts of the north coast here, of course quickly moving on out of here. This next storm system looks impressive, but it's butting up against a ridge of high pressure eventually, and it's not going to have a whole lot of impact other than some cloud cover on our forecast. Let's take a look at futurecast here, and there you can see tomorrow morning at about 5 a.m. we are seeing some of that fog kind of picking up on futurecast, but again, there will be more than that than what you're seeing there. Clouds will actually start to overspread the region here throughout the day on Thursday, mainly in the form of high clouds, and you'll notice some rain off the coast here. I think that might be overdoing it. The main storm system is still well off to the west here, and that's where the bulk of that rain will be here. All right, so taking a look at your forecast for tomorrow, I do expect to see some of those high clouds. Temperatures should be in the low to even some mid-60s for some of the warmer spots. Highs in the 40s and even some low 50s for the higher elevations. And for the coast, looks like for your Thursday, we'll get somewhere in the low to somewhere maybe some of us getting in the mid-60s along the coast. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, it's dry for your Thursday and Friday, but there's that wet weather pattern kicking in. And it looks like on Christmas Day, Wednesday of next week, it will be dry, but on either side of Christmas, we're going to be looking at that rain, of course, snow in the higher elevations. For the coast, dry for Thursday, Friday, and then, of course, those showers off and on Saturday through Tuesday, and then again, the day after Christmas, a chance for some more showers. For Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains, notice the snow levels around 4,500 to 5,000 feet. They're going to be about 5,000 to 6,000 feet Sunday, Monday, and then they may lower again here between 4,000 and 5,000 feet on Tuesday. So this is something we're going to have to watch closely as it could impact some of that mountain travel. All right, that's a look at your QuickCast. Before we get to our deeper dive, just a quick reminder, there's a free Weather NorCal app. Go to the App Store, search for Weather NorCal, and everything you need is right there on your phone. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite image here. Again, there's that cold front. As it pushed on through, you can see how it's really getting weaker and just continue to push off to the east. So, of course, most of the showers we saw were this morning. This storm system right here looks very impressive, and it actually is, but that high pressure that's going to be in place is going to hold on strong. But I do want to illustrate here all these bands of moisture that the areas of low pressure, see the spinning area of low pressure, and they're all tapping into that moisture one after another, starting this weekend and through next week. What that essentially is showing here is that these storm systems have plenty of moisture to work with, and we will be dealing with some good amounts of rainfall as we go into the next, really through the week, for the weekend and into next week. But again, taking it into the next few days here with Futurecast, we're going to be looking at dry conditions to start off the day, and then on Thursday afternoon, those clouds will be on the increase, mainly in the form of high and a few mid-level clouds. I think Futurecast might be overdoing it with the amount of rain that we're seeing here off the coast here. I don't think we're going to really see anything on Thursday, as most of that rain is still confined off to the west with that cold front. Now, this cold front is expected to just weaken and break apart before making its way into Northern California. So again, it might be overdoing it, showing showers on Friday. We'll see. I'm going to watch this closely, but for now I'm going to keep Friday dry, and then Saturday is the day that we'll see that next round of rain begin to move on in. So you can see through Friday night looking fairly dry, but again off to the west of us on Saturday is that better chance for rain. So I want to show you kind of the bigger perspective. This is the storm system that's showing on Futurecast the potential for some rain as we go through the day on Friday. Look what happens with it. See, the thing is, as it moves closer to us, you see what's happening? It's just breaking apart. And there's a reason for that, because we've got this ridge of high pressure right here, and it's breaking that storm system apart. So we remain dry as a result. However, as we go into the weekend, this ridge shifts to the east. This storm system and the one behind that, the door is open now, and it's allowing those storm systems to come out on Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, a chance for some more rain. Then we go into your Monday. Yeah, look at that. Monday, a chance for some more rain. Tuesday, more rain. But what we're seeing on Tuesday is this. And really, up until Tuesday, I was showing you those higher snow levels. But by the time we get into Tuesday, we've got a trough of low pressure right here. That's going to bring in some cooler air, and that may lower those snow levels a bit. And unfortunately, this is on Christmas Eve when many of you might be traveling. So there is the potential for chain requirements and delays on some of even those lower mountain passes. Something that is worth monitoring and watching very closely, and I'll be tracking very closely here at Weather NorCal for the latest as we get closer to next week. Now, taking you into Christmas Day, we've got a weak ridge right here. Most of the rain to the north and west of us. We should be dry through most of the day on Christmas Day. Then the day after Christmas, that next round of rain moves in. We got that nice steady flow coming in from the west. Doesn't look to be quite as active by the time we get to the end of next week, but still that potential for some showers here, especially the day after Christmas. How much rain can we expect at least for the next 7 days through Tuesday of next week? Well, we could pick up 2 to even 3 inches of rain for parts of the valley, and for the coast, 3 to 5 inches of rain is a possibility. So some decent rain heading our way just through Tuesday. That's not including what we'll see the day after Christmas and thereafter. But looking at the Climate Prediction Center, these shades of green right here, that is better chances of seeing above normal rainfall in the long range. I don't think I hear anyone complaining about that. But again, we're talking about those higher snow levels initially because that warmer air will be in place, keeping those snow levels fairly high. And even when they do drop, they won't be significant drops in those snow levels. So again, something worth watching though, and we'll be fine-tuning that forecast as we get closer to next week. Want to show you the winds here real quickly because they're not going to be an issue for anybody, including the coast. But by Friday, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, the winds picking up for the coast. They're picking up for many of the mountains, especially central Siskiyou County and east of the valley. But the valley at this point doesn't look like the winds will really pick up for you through the day on Friday. Taking a look at your wave heights, and you can see here those wave heights are kind of dropping and then they're kind of getting probably picking back up again. Really not a whole lot of change with those wave heights as we take you into the next few days. Taking a look at our forecast for tonight, it is going to drop down somewhere in the upper 30s to low 40s in the valley. Could see some patchy fog for even the north end of the valley around Redding, southward into Chico, Oroville. Could all see some of that fog tonight and tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, it's cold in the mountains, 20s and 30s off to the north and east. We could see some patchy fog for parts of Siskiyou County in those mountain valleys in Trinity County, and some of those inland valleys for Del Norte and Humboldt County as well. And of course, those temperatures tonight dropping down into the mid 40s on average along the coast. All right, we're going to take a look at your forecast here for starting off with Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, even some low 60s for your daytime highs. We're dry for tomorrow and Friday, that is. And of course, that rain off and on starting this weekend into next week. 66 for a high in Blue Lake, 65 for Alder Point, 65 for Ferndale and Honeydew, about 67 degrees. Up north, dry through Friday, chances for that rain coming in over the weekend. And also, temperatures dropping from the 60s on Friday to the 50s by the weekend. There's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Etna, about 48. Happy Camp, 52. There you can see Hornbrook, about 50. And Doris, a high of about 44 degrees. And for your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, temperatures mainly in the 40s, although some of the warmer spots like El Turris at 51. That's also the case in Aden. Here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for your daytime highs. Warmer spots will be in Shingletown at 61, as well as Paradise. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Temperatures upper 50s to around 60 for your daytime highs. And of course, temperatures may be just a tad cooler than what we're going to see here for today, but we'll call for about 63 degrees for Redding and 61 degrees in Red Bluff. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures are dropping back down into the 50s by the weekend. Off and on chances for rain on the first day of winter on Saturday through Tuesday. Looks like at this point, we'll see a break for Christmas Day. Thank you all so much for watching. That is your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and then live at 7 a.m. on Coffee with Krueger. Have a great night.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Moth Painting.
It's Walgamith Painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.